Hello, welcome to another KRL Hot Lap of the Week. This time on board the number 1 Porsche, driven by myself and Wilco. So here we go, lap around Brands Hatch. Very exciting lap here, very intense and very easy to stay. But here we go, up to 6th gear. Cancel, try and do a little U-shape here, stay off the inside curb. And careful with the throttle on the exit here. Very easy to get some wheel spin. The 4th, down the 3rd, turn in nice and early, let the car run out wide over that curb. And this is a real tricky corner here, so you've got to make sure you brake deep, stay in the middle of the track, and do a nice late apex there. You got to wait for this bump. There it is. Careful with the throttle there. You're going to get wheel spin to hit that. But yeah, anyway, a little braver now. About 245 k's an hour, down into 4th. This is where it gets really fast, flying corners. Pretty fun here once you get it hooked up. So up to 5th, back down to 4th, inside curb, take as much as you can. Careful with the exit as the car wants to sort of drift. Blind corner here, go aim for the inside curb, he pops up there, bang. Careful with the wheel spin on the exit. Down into 3rd, be nice and smooth here. Pick up the throttle nice and early. You'll be really careful with this last corner here, it goes off camber, you can really just understeer straight off the track, so you've got to keep it 4th, get it nice and early, pick up the throttle, and that is a flying lap around Brands Hatch, 1:26.3, that's probably roughly where we're going to be going for pole position time, so 7-minute quali and 2 20-minute races, it's going to be intense around here, so hope you enjoy it.
First out. Thought it might have been. Nice.
How good was that? A hot lap from a champion in a championship winning car. Hello, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you're watching right around the world. We're back again for Tier 1, Round 1 of this KRL season, the British GT Championship here on Assetto Corsa. Big hello and welcome to you all. Fantastic to be back on the air. Tier 2 last night had plenty of action, and hoping for more of the same in Tier 1 as I welcome my co-commentator. Somebody please stop those dogs barking. It's none other than the suave Englishman from Perth, Bullseye Bobby Hoskins. Good evening to you, Bobby.
Good evening, mate. How are you doing?
Career best form, it's funny you say that actually. Great to be back, feeling good, and we're going to see some action tonight. I don't think we've got any GT4 cars in the field, Bob. I think we're all loaded up with GT3s, I believe.
Yeah, all GT3s out there, and everyone's gone for a bit of a change-up, I think, by the looks of this, apart from Barders.
Now, in the British countryside, thank you for that, the dog just coming into the commentary box there, so shorter qualifying session, 7 minutes of quali, Bob, 20-minute race, followed by another qualifying session and another 20-minute race, so very important to get out, get a clean lap in nice and early, isn't it, Bob, with the shorter qualifying sessions for the sprint rounds?
Yeah, you need that early banker, just something to rely on that is, reasonable, and then roll the dice and go for it on another hot lap. So
there we have it, Isuzu Brian, the man who doesn't believe in COVID-19. There we have it, the number 86 Bentley, so we'll keep an eye on him. Riding in the pink Ferrari, got to say that looks very nice indeed. Not as nice as Albert there, the number 9 McLaren. As Voodoo wants to know, Barters for pole position. That is a pretty good bet. Hello to you, Voodoo. That's right, I'll just get the chat going there. So don't be shy, get those comments coming in. But already we've had 3 minutes in this qualifying session elapsed, and Albert on the absolute limit there. And we might see which drivers are on their hot lap. We've got also got Jason Wilkinson alongside us as well. Wilco, if you can hear us, welcome to you again.
Yes, good to be here. Just the little pit lane reporter for tonight. Let you two boys Smash it as you normally do. So, yeah, I was just about to chuck in the comments, but I'll say it here. In practice, we had Static Hazard with a 124.2, I think it was, with Albert 3 1000s behind him. So that should be pretty close, and the rest of the field were all within about 6 tenths over the next 7 or 8 cars. So should be very close tonight. As Albert's got lap through now, and Branchy, who was quick last time, he's been quick tonight. So yeah, it should be good, interesting quali session here.
Looking very good indeed. Static goes to the top of the timing sheets. 124.762, 2 tenths clear of Branchy and Barters. With a bit of work to do if he's going to get pole position here tonight. Righty in the pink Ferrari. He's in fourth. Isuzu O'Brien there, the anti-vaxxer, just letting Albert go, who potentially is on another quick run. Good vibes in seventh. Aussie Thunder in eighth. But let's just have a look at this track while we've got a chance. Here we are in which part of England are we in tonight, Bob? Are we in Kent? Are we? I think for this track here at Brands Hatch. Beautiful circuit. Gotta love this one. Is this one of your favourites, Bobby?
It's
Hello, welcome.
I just love the nature of it. It's unforgiving. It's constant. There's everything. Corners off camber. You just can't let up on this track.
Great stuff. And we've got 9 corners, so a short lap, but not too much margin for error. If you go offline and put a wheel in the grass, more than likely you're going to be heading straight to the scene of the accident. And don't forget, of course, our racing calendar. I know we'll get back to qualifying in just a second. Next week off to Silverstone, then at Donington before a week off, and then we go to Spa, Snetterton, Alton Park before we finish it up at Donington. Back to Donington yet again. Less than 2 minutes left in this session. All of the drivers, with the exception of John, have set a time. Let's have a look at John there in the Lamborghini. What can he do? He looks like he's absolutely on it here at the moment. There's 3.8 seconds separating Albert, who's in pole position. Not by much. John going off, making a little mistake there, and that is going to cost him, Bob, on this lap, but he's going to have time to get back around for another one, I reckon.
Yes. What time we got left? Yeah, just enough. He should have just enough.
So here we go then. John coming across the line. We've got Righty Binger in the pit lane. Wilco's also in the pit lane. He's our Ted Kravitz tonight, reporting live from the pit lane, keeping an eye on things and keeping us up to date as John coming through turn 1 there. The paddock bend. And then on to through Druids, the hairpin. Classic British names. Graham Hill, Cooper, Surtees, Hawthorne Hill. Great track, this one. So less than a minute remaining in this session. It's flying by. These sprint rounds go very quickly indeed. But stick around. We've got a 20-minute race coming your way right after this. John dipping a wheel into the grass again, and that's not going to help him. He's got Barters coming up behind him at a rapid rate of knots. So let's just see whether that, hopefully that doesn't affect their lap. But Barters, I beg your pardon, it couldn't have been Barters. So yes, it is. But we've got Barters on pole, 24.5. And then that pushes Albert down to second place. Still a front row start. I'm not too displeased with that. But Static in third, Branchy in fourth, Aussie and Righty share the third row of the grid. Good vibes in seventh, Isuzu, and Bingerling eighth and ninth. And John now coming around to complete the lap. Here he comes in through the Clark curb now. Taking all of that speed through this corner onto the start-finish straight. Watch you don't go too wide there as he comes across the line. Qualifying is done. Where can this lap put him? It's only good enough for ninth. As Dazzler checks in for this evening.
Here comes Albert.
And here comes Albert. How can I miss this? Here he comes across the line. Hello to you, Dazzler. And look at this. He's looking for a 124.5. What's he done?
Hey!
Oh! Pole position, guys. I still think I had a little bit in my pocket.
Good vibes to go here.
And then it's good vibes to go then, as Albert's off on his merry way. Good vibes to come across the line, currently sitting in 7th position. What can he do? Let's wait and see. Up to No, he hasn't improved there.
No, he stayed there.
And he stayed there. Boy, oh boy, Dazzler, hello to you. On a roll with my prediction, says Voodoo. And wow, big move, Voodoo. And spoke too soon, Voodoo. That's for sure. As that is the end of Q1. We're going to head back to the garage now and just recap before we get underway. It's got Nobby Nuts Racing 12th and 13th. There's two of them there. And Wilco wants to know.
Nuts.
2 nuts. There we go. So will we get a clean start, guys? You wait. Voodoo says he's in front of his recipe book there, and he's going to be brewing up some spells, some Nigerian magic. There we have it. You wait. I'll get onto my Voodoo magic. There we have it. So end of qualifying, and it is Prince Albert, favourite of mine, taking pole position. Then Barnes in second. Static Hazard in third. Fourth for Branchy. Fifth for Aussie Thunder as we head to the grid. Righty. 6th, 7th for Good Vibes. What COVID-19, says Isuzu up there in 8th. John in 9th. And Binger rounding out your top 10. We do get a point for pole position, I believe, Wilco, don't we?
Yes, correct. It's a sprint format this week, so pole position 1 point and the top 8 get points. So 15th for first, 15th for first, and 1 point for 8th. And then next week we go to an endurance, or quote-unquote endurance race, where it's a 1 hour race, where it's normal points. So we've got a sprint, endurance, sprint, and then Spa's an endurance race, sprint for Seton, sprint for, I can't remember. There's 7 rounds. We've got sprints and endurance race, so that's all you need to know.
There we have it. So stick around. We'll show you the calendar throughout the course of the evening. Panchiana. That means patience. Hopefully Voodoo, Albert wasn't listening to that. But anyway, that's what we need. Patience on the opening lap here, Bob. What can you see? Can you see carnage here on lap 1? Or are we going to see a clean start with everyone getting away cleanly?
Well, Albert is normally the one that makes first corner and first lap moves. He's up front, so everyone should be safe.
Here we go. We've got the 30-second call. So, well, Bullseye, you reckon it's going to be a clean one? Albert out in front, and then Barter's alongside him. It's going to be interesting. We've got the warm-up lap, the formation lap, of course, which we saw last night as well for the Tier 2 guys. But 15 seconds, 10. It's counting down. Thank you, Race Control. Universal Boss just letting us know there. So the countdown is on. Race 1 ready to get underway here for KRL. It is the opening night for Tier 1, this Tier 1 championship. And Cart Dude calling it early. He says a lap 1 pile-up. Big hello to everybody down there at the Launceston Karting Club. As well, Albert's away. Is anyone else going to join him? Yep, Barters is away now. They're all getting away off the grid. And very important to warm those tyres. Tyre pressure is very important. Brakes. And this is the tension is building, Bob. You're calling for a clean start, and we pretty much had a clean start last night off the line for the Tier 2 guys. So hopefully they can follow suit and take a leaf out of their book for the start tonight. But you can see this track, 9 corners, one of the classic tracks, former host of the British Grand Prix and pretty much every other, certainly every other form of motorsport pretty much over the years. And 20-minute race, then another qualifying session, so don't go anywhere because we're going to do it all over again for a second time around. And Cart Dude, who says, I'm a Victorian now. Couldn't have picked a better time, could he, Wilco, to become a Victorian? I think we're...
poor guy.
I think Melbourne's catching up to... I think Melbourne's got the record, doesn't it, next week? If we are definitely staying in lockdown. And 250 days or something in lockdown, so I think that's the record. But Lieutenant Dan, I'm sure he'll be doing everything he can to get us open and back
into lockdown more.
into lockdown more. We are doing everything we can. That's right.
5 more years.
5 more years, or get on the beers. I need to get one of those T-shirts, but there we have it. So Albert leading them around very slowly. He's just setting the pace there out front in that McLaren. 2 McLarens, 2 Lamborghinis, and look at that out front.
3 Bentleys, 2 Mercs.
2 Mercs. one championship winning Porsche in the pit lane there. We saw that hot lap. That's probably all we're going to see so far. As Nemo wants to know, where's Mighty Murph? Well, that's funny because he left a comment on the Kid Buyers group saying I might pull out my wheel. And I'm glad he said wheel rather than something else. But no sign of Murph. Wilco, what's happening there?
He's scared. Scared rabbit. That's all I need to say.
Oh, shut up, Jason, you fuckwit. There we go. Thank you for that, Murph. But as we get ready to go racing, good to have you here, Nemo. That's we've got our favourite Kiwi here, nonetheless. Can't Dude joining us, big razzle dazzle. Ho! Says, hey guys, great to have you with us. Sign me up, coach, says Nemo. Do not go to bed. And if you do go to bed, Nemo, keep this playing in the background for those watch hours. But we are almost ready to go racing. It's going to be Albert leading them away. Go, go, go! Here we go, round one, tier one, opening night for the tier one season, season 3 of the Kid Buyers Racing League, and Albert gets a clean start. Barter's into second. I think they've all got away cleanly, although I think I may have spoken too soon. A Static Hazard goes wide and into the gravel bob. What's happening there?
Oh, John's around.
Hold on a second. Yeah, I've got to find out who that was. But
I think
yeah, there was a
John
massive
got
lunge.
loose.
And there we have it. So we've been reliably informed that Murph is playing Minecraft and he is too scared to race, as Wilco mentioned. But there we go, John at the back. I think it was John that may have gone around. I saw Static sort of understeering or drifting off the circuit, but he looks like he's back up at the back of this pack. But it is Albert in P1. We'll check out a replay a little bit later on, but Albert leads, not too far ahead of Barters. And there we have it, Branchy in third. Look at this midfield pack now, Righty, points only down to 8th. And then it's Isuzu Brian in 5th. Right up behind, is that Righty off the track? I saw him kicking up some dust in that pink Ferrari. Righty is off the circuit. And there's not much grip out there, is there, Wilco?
There's definitely not. It was actually funny, Brian just got up the inside then. Brian did that last night, but on the other side of the track, and then spun across and got collected by poor Kilroy. So luckily, Righty didn't crash then. But yeah, Brian stuck up to P4, so not bad for anti-COVID.
There we have it, the anti-vaxxer Brian. Thank you for that, Kai. She says, "Is this Minecraft?" Well, I'm the way I'm only getting about 25 frames a second on this stream. It looks a bit like Minecraft to me, Kai, but thank you for joining us. Righty there on your screen, having a moment. As Nemo says, get vaccinated and stay safe from COVID. But it is Isuzu Brian. Brian O. Spillner, as he's known to his mates, up there in 4th. And then Branchy in 3rd, not too far ahead of him. And then it's Prince Albert up in 1st position, numero uno, or whatever the number 1 is in Spanish, the King of Spain, leading us around, but Barter's keeping him under pressure, and now that gap between 2nd and 3rd is 2.5 seconds, and then it's the two teammates, Branchy and Brian. Look at this, somebody off further ahead. I think Barters might have dipped a wheel into the grass as GRT joins us and says John needs some more beers. Very interesting stuff. Maybe he hasn't enough beer.
Vibes around.
And we've got somebody else around at the back. Good Vibes is facing the wrong way. Yellow flags in Sector 2. Is he going to get it back around in the right direction? He sure is. And he's back onto the circuit. But, well, Bob, in a 20-minute race, that's not where you need to be. Plenty of work to get back into it here.
Yeah, so he's just got hope that there's a few mishaps in the field. I did keep an eye on what happened on lap 1. So basically what it was Aussie had a big lunge up the inside and went over the curbs, and there just seemed to be a slight domino effect. So all those initial places he made up, I believe that he's actually redressed and let all of those drivers back past.
Great stuff, great sportsmanship there. But lap 2 of this race, just 16 minutes remaining as Nemo.
John's out.
Team radio.
John's just put off the sides and he's returned to the pits. So he is off for for this race, but hopefully back for race 2.
Well, off to potentially have a beer. There you have it. Nemo wants to know, when's your commentary debut for V8 Supercars, Trev? Well, I've been in touch with them, and we're hoping for Sandown.
Oh, Static Hazard just had a big crash.
2022, and Static, as he had an accident again. He dropped down the field. We saw this last night, although he did have some wheel issues, I believe you mentioned, Wilco, last night, but he's dropped down the field in 8th position, and still a fair way ahead of Good Vibes there in 9th, so he's still on for a point, isn't he? Going on the...
Yep, 1 point.
The sprint round points that we hand out. Oh, nice stuff, mate, says Nemo. Thanks for that, Nemo, and thanks for watching. But no, in all seriousness, Nemo, Sandown 2022, that's what we're aiming for once we've all got our jabs and we're all back, allowed to get back out and do stuff. But there we have it, Static in 8th. Let's recap if you're just joining us. Bingaling just in 7th there. 6th for Aussie Thunder. Righty in the pink Ferrari. 5th, all on the back of the anti-jabbing Brian. Is he going to make a move? There's not too many opportunities to pass around this track, is there, Bob? It's a bit of a tight and twisty one.
Yeah, I'd say T1 and T2 are probably your best bets, you know, just by taking a different line. So, yeah, through Paddock Hill Bend and through Druids.
So here we go then, Righty still all up in Brian's business. And was that Aussie Thunder going around? No, I must have been seeing things. But with 14 minutes left in this race, Albert, he's not streaking away into the lead. But that gap now 1.3 seconds, 1.5. So things, the field just evening itself out a little bit here. Things settling down. We got through the start. And it's first, second, third there on your screen. Isuzu, Brian and Righty doing battle for P4 there at the moment. We'll keep an eye on that one. Waiting for
Righty's got a good run on him.
And Righty, is he going to... Oh. Well, he got a little bit too close for comfort there, Bullseye, and I believe they may have made contact there.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a nudge, but both of them lifted. They've, you know, settled cars back down and off they go again.
There we have it, Righty putting his nose down the inside again. Is he going to make a move? Not quite, but he's all over the back of Isuzu Brian, that's for sure. And the man that doesn't believe in COVID is in a hell of a lot of trouble here with Righty, because he has got pace, pace, pace. And to quote the great Murray Walker, we saw beforehand that little bit of a nudge there. But Righty, and well, whilst Righty's looking at Brian, Aussie Thunder's very interested as well here. So we could have a bit of a three-way fight. Binger 1.6 further back. And we could have a three-way battle here for P4 and Thunder. A little bit of just had a wheel on the grass there, but managed to keep it all together. And he's going to have a look at Righty now as well, Bob.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to... It depends what he does through this final corner, if he gets a good run or not. He's gone wide. He's lost the momentum.
So there we have it. So down the main straight, the Brabham straight, which is actually a continuous curb as we come back through turn 1. So Isuzu Brian getting away from Righty a little bit on that lap. Aussie Thunder 4 tenths now further back behind Righty, but we'll keep going through the order. Binger in 7th, Static Hazard looks to have some pace, but he's got a lot of work to do. A little bit of damage on the front of that McLaren, but he, like we said, has plenty to do in the remaining 12 minutes of this race. Good Vibes still circulating. He's in 9th, hoping, like you said, Bob, for somebody to maybe drop out or have an accident or have an incident so he can take advantage at least to get a point for 8th place. But the gap at the front, Bob, is closing now. Less than a second between Albert and Barters.
Oh, right, he's on the inside. Oh, a bit of an elbow, sorry. Yeah, it does look as if that gap at the front is closing up. Sorry, I was distracted because I knew that there was going to be a bit of a ding-dong back here. And
it was a ding-dong battle because Righty is through now. So he's on his merry way, and you can see Righty's got some pace, Bob, hasn't he? You can see he was almost, I wouldn't say he was stuck behind Brian, but you can see him building that gap straight away as soon as he's managed to get that move done. So that leaves Brian in 5th place now. You can see Righty across into lap 6 of this race. Then it is Brian. And what's the gap between Righty And Branchy, I hear you ask, it's 3.7 seconds. Which is, it's a fair bit to do, isn't it, Bob, with only 11 minutes to go, but you never know, anything's possible.
Oh, Static and Binger going side by side here.
And just hold on to that thought, because Static and Binger and Thunder, what's Thunder doing down there? Have they got past Aussie Thunder there?
He let Binger go because Binger and Aussie are teammates, and as he did that, Static snuck around the outside of turn 1, so Aussie might not want to do that next time.
Probably not the best idea. I don't think there was too much of a gap there between them and Static Hazard. They were trying to go with the team orders there, but it looks like it hasn't worked out because they've lost out here big time, haven't they? So Static now between Binger and Aussie Thunder, the two teammates, and Static looking a good thing. Is he going to go up behind Binger? He's very, very close. Couldn't quite get a move done through this middle part of the lap. And there's not too many opportunities through Stirling's Bend now. And up to Clearways as race control. Half the race gone and half still to go. Thank you, Murray, the great man. Should be Sir Murray Walker, but there we go across the line. 7 laps coming into lap number 8. I believe we'll get there eventually to lap number 8, but and Binger having a little bit of a moment. Is there anything else happening in the field? I think this is the closest battle between Static and Binger that we have on our hands at the moment, with less than 10 minutes remaining in this race. Let's recap. It is the Prince Albert, the King of Spain, up in P1, managing that gap. Barter's not giving him too much there, just behind him. Then it's Branchy, looking good. I don't want to talk too soon, but looking good for P3. A very impressive start to his KRL campaign here this season. And then it's Ridey now, 1.7 seconds. You can see how much Ridey was getting held up there by Brian. He's 1.7 seconds ahead of him now, then 1.9 back to Binger. And this is a close battle. Now look at this, only a couple of tenths between them. Static is right up behind him here, Wilco. Can he get a move done eventually? Let's wait and see.
Yeah, Stat's got a bit of damage, so he's going to be a bit slower on the straight, which will be hurting him. So unless Binger makes a mistake, which he is, like, I don't want to put the commentator's curse on him, but he is notoriously a hard guy to pass. So he puts the car in the right spots, so he should hopefully hold on for these last 8 minutes. But Stat, yeah, he does have a bit of pace, even though with the damaged car. So
he's still managing to stay right with Binger and Aussie Thunder then. And Static just looks to have so much pace going through that first corner there, but it's almost cost him there. He was so close to Binger on that occasion, but we'll keep an eye on that battle. Is there something happening at the front? No, I beg your pardon, that gap's still 1.1 seconds. And
right, he is closing up on Branchy though. He's taken a second out of that gap over the last 2-3 laps.
Well, we said only what seemed like a moment ago, Bob, that gap was 3.7, 3.8. Now he has taken a second out of him. It's 2.8. And plenty of time, Bob, if he wants to get that third place.
Yeah, so they should have, what, another 5 laps or so?
Yeah, I think it's
about 6 laps.
14, 15 laps they did last night, so...
Yeah, so another 6 laps or so. I think he's going to get this done. Oh, he's off, is he?
Yep.
And that is a perfect example of what we like to call the commentator's curse. I don't think you even had finished that sentence, Bob, as Ridey was off into the gravel trap there. But Ridey now, he's back into the clutches of Isuzu Brian. And look out, Ridey, he's not going to give you a COVID jab, is he? But he'll be looking to make a move on you, that's for sure. Through turn 1 now, less than 7 minutes remaining. Well, that gap's now 4 seconds. It's going to be a little bit more difficult, but Ridey, he's got this
Barter's all over Albert now too.
Control, and Barter's now right up behind. This is the battle for the lead on your screen at the moment, right up behind Prince Alberto here. And it looked as though Albert had it all under control now, but Barter's closing here, Bob. And will he? Well, it's one thing to catch up to Albert. It's another thing to pass. We all know that. But he is going to be under pressure And he will need nerves of steel here in the last 6 minutes of this race if he's going to hold on to this lead. It looks like it's under control at the moment, but now Isuzu Brian has passed Ridey. Wow. So Ridey, who, a couple of minutes ago looked like he could have been on for a podium, Bob, is now back in 5th place, and he's got it all to do here.
Yeah, so I've just started driving the Ferrari, and I've found that it can behave really nicely for, 5-10 laps, and then all of a sudden it just starts sliding. If you haven't got your tyres perfect.
Oh no! Sorry to cut across you there, Bob, but I think Ridey might have put a nose where he shouldn't have down the inside and just spun the both of them. I think he sort of tapped him into the pit lane, and that has completely put those two out of contention for a podium finish. Then that gives Binger 4th place now. Static up to 5th. Aussie Thunder now up to 6th. But, Ridey, he had the pace, didn't he? But a little bit too impatient there, Bob. Just looking to get back past Brian.
Yeah,
so
got
I've pulled up the replay now.
Yeah, it looks like he gets a better exit and then he maybe should have got out of it. But, oh well, it's unfortunate. Those two have a nice little battle then, but... Yeah, anyway, back to the front because it's really close here. Barter's all over Albert. Could he get a send here? No, he can't.
Let's have a look at this, Dazzler. Do not go anywhere. Dazzler saying, go, Aussie, go. And look at this battle. Your man down in 6th. We'll keep an eye on that one. But this is the business end. This is what it's all about. This is where it's at. Because with only, a couple of laps possibly remaining, it is Albert just in front. You can see there. I wouldn't say he was weaving, but just moving a little bit, maybe trying to break that slipstream. But through turn 1 now, up to the hairpin at Druids. And he's getting awfully close, only a few tenths between it. You can see the gap visually has closed between the two of them, our race leader. And wow, look at this, Albert. Just running a little bit wide there, and that's going to give Barters. The door is open. The door is open. Is he going to go through and take the lead? No, he can't quite get it done, but he's going to keep his foot in it now, Bob. And will he get around him here?
It will be very dicey if he tries a move here. It wouldn't surprise me if he just rolls out of it and then just follows Albert.
And perfect timing. You can see there, way too risky. To go into turn 5 there with that sort of pace, and to have your car on the inside. Maybe Lewis Hamilton would try it, Wilco, but not Barters on that occasion. As we see, he's awfully close though in what could possibly be the second penultimate lap, or maybe we might get one more in. But look at this, Albert now will need to absorb all of this pressure if he is going to keep this race win. All to himself here. Tier 1 action. It's stepped up a level. No disrespect to the Tier 2 guys. That was great racing too, but these guys are absolutely on the edge. They're on the limit.
Barters had a massive moment.
Barters looking rather
caught.
Twitchy. Just keeping it on the road, Bob.
Yeah, no, he did really well to keep hold of that. Normally when the Lambo snaps, it's normally hellish, but he's managed to gather it up, and he hasn't seemed to have lost a great deal there.
So
one thing we got to think about is look at the track temp at 34 degrees, and I did the GT4 race last night, and although I was sliding around having a bit of fun, even when you try and drive normally, the left rear gets hurt around here, so it could be something. Maybe I was sort of the McLaren just cooked his tyres a little more, although notoriously Barters is one that cooks the tyres a bit, so maybe he's sort of got him working beautifully at the moment. And he's definitely all over Albert for this last 2 laps here.
We're going to stick with this battle. That voice you heard was our pit lane reporter, 2-time champion Jason Wilkinson, just sitting in the pits, ready in case anything happens. All the action seems to be out on track though here. And you can see now we're going to have 1 or 2 more laps. I'm looking at the time. Are we going to get 2? Are we going to get 1? It's going to be close. What is it usually?
1:24 a lap.
I think, here we go. So we don't know. Oh no, the Universal Boss hasn't let us know. Has he? Because, of course, race
so
control.
we're not sure.
usually lets us know that it is the last lap of the race, so we're not quite sure, but that is Jason Wilkinson alongside me, along with Bob Hoskins, the man from Perth. Thank you for joining us, everybody, and especially you, Bob, all the way over there in Perth. I heard that they didn't let Eddie Maguire into Perth. A little bit controversial, but it seems that Perth's going to be Eddie Maguire free for quite some time. But there we go, last lap potentially, or penultimate lap.
Yeah, I think it's going to be the last lap because Albert's fastest lap is a 1:25.0 and Barter's fastest lap is a 1:24.8. So I think they crossed the line with a minute 24 to go. So if if Albert's smart, he might just roll off the throttle a little bit just as he comes across the line to make sure he gets the check-in.
He might make sure it's the last lap, you reckon, Wilco, because that will mean he'll have one less lap to endure, one less lap of pressure, 9 less corners without having to look at Barter's in his mirrors. There are other battles going on. I think Static's close to Binger, but we're not going to...
Static and Binger have been close the last 4 or 5 laps, but call it home. Call this like
Here
last
we
lap.
go. Here we go, around the final corner, onto the Brabham Straight for the final time. 3, 2, 1, 0, and it is Albert. Get the Spanish national anthem ready along with the champagne, because Albert takes the win ahead of Barters and absorbing all that pressure to take the victory here in the opening race of this opening sprint round. Branching in third, Binger getting ahead of Static to take fourth. Fifth for Static Hazard. Sixth for Aussie Thunder. Dazzler, your man coming home.
Brian.
Yeah, he's going to try around the outside.
And Good Vibes. Is he going to go around the outside of Brian Spilner? Let's have a look here through the final corner now. I reckon Brian's got it. No COVID jabs for him. And he comes across the line in 8th ahead of Good Vibes, who is out of the points. So that was for the final points paying position, Wilco.
It was. So Vibes just didn't have enough grip to hang around the outside there. So that was unfortunate, but that's that was a pretty good race. It was good to see Albert and Barters having a nice battle, and Static and Binger had a ripper battle there too. So stay tuned for Quali 2 and Race 2.
Do not go anywhere. Don't adjust your sets or do anything else, because Albert taking the victory here in Race 1. Just look at that gap. 0.292 ahead of Barters. Branchy, good form. His good form continues, taking 3rd place in the final podium finish. Binger in 4th, Static in 5th, Aussie Thunder coming home in 6th place. Solid points there. Righty in 7th. After what looked potentially like a podium for him, he came home 7th. And then Isuzu Brian taking the last point ahead of Good Vibes. We lost John. Not too sure what the two knobby nutses are doing. And then it's Boss, and there's two the Boss. You're in a Boss sandwich there, Wilco, who are in the pit lane. But don't go anywhere. Race number 2 is coming up. Qualifying number 2 is coming up. This is opening night for Tier 1, Season 3 of KRL. We'll be back in just a few moments. Stick around. Welcome back, ladies. That's going to be one for the highlight reel, that's for sure. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are into qualifying 2. And Branchy, the first car out on track. Good to get out nice and early and get a quick lap in as fast as you can. Have we had somebody join us through the break? No, I think we might have
The
had
boss.
Matterford. The boss has joined us, yep. There you go. So the boss just at the back there at the moment, coming out onto the track. There he is after mixed race for him last night. But still good to see him here for Tier 1. I think Matterford, there was talk of Matterford potentially joining, but
Yeah,
we'll
find
wait and
out.
see.
We'll see. He's got 4 minutes to jump on if his race is started. Of course, he is Albert's teammate, so at least Albert got points in the bag for race 1, so hopefully Matterford can join for the second race.
So we'll wait and see. Thinking about the Constructors' Championship. There we have it. Good vibes now. I think somebody had a bit of an incident there. Somebody spun. I didn't get to see quite who that was, but look at these times. A 125.194 for Static. And look at the gap back to Branchy. Nothing in it.
Here's Albert.
And Albert
24.8.
at 24.8. That is pace, pace, pace from the King of Spain there, Bob. Can anyone beat that? We'll wait and see.
So, quickly to jump in, the track temp is now 25 degrees for race 2, so we should see a lot faster times, and hopefully the tyres last a bit longer in the race. Of course, it's weird saying tyres last long in a 20-minute race, but the left rear does get a bit of a beating around here, all these fast right-handers, so we should see, should see some low 24s, maybe a 23. But we'll see.
So don't forget that track evolution. And the same thing happened last night, I think, Wilco, didn't it? We had 34, 35 degrees track temperature for race 1. And as we get a little bit later in the day here at Brands Hatch, it drops by about 10 degrees. Look at that. And look at the gap too as well. 124.
3/1000ths again.
3/1000ths of a second again. I think we had a couple of people with identical times last night, but it can't get much closer than that. A 124, and now Branchy. Wow, he's just jumped up to the top of the timing sheets, and Static.
Happy hour.
How good is this? Static goes up to P1. They're sort of knocking each other
Aussie
out.
up to third.
And
identical time.
with the same time. Incredible stuff. You think, fellas, all of those gear changes, all of those corners, all of those decisions that have got to be made throughout the course of the lap, and at the end of it all, identical times. It's amazing, isn't it? We see it so often, don't we, in all forms of racing.
I'm pretty sure it was Aussie and Brian last night had the same time.
I
It's
think-
Aussie again. It's just this time he's on the other end of the stick, getting third instead of second. But
Because
yeah, so Aussie likes to be a bit of a sheep and mash lap times around this place.
so swap though from last night, isn't it? Because Branchy got across the line first, so he gets that time. Thunder back in the pits, Barter's out there. And the times, what a qualifying session we've seen here. Nothing but action in this 7 minutes. Coming up now, just a minute left, a bit over a minute left in this session. Barter's
Barter's
across
about
the
to start
line.
his lap. He was on an invalid lap then, so now he's starting his last lap now. So this could be interesting as Branchy comes across the line again. What can he do
He's
here?
10th down at the moment.
Is he okay? Yep. What
So-
about Stat? He's just behind.
So
Albert's got an invalid lap.
let's have a look. Static, can he go quicker, boys? Let's bring this across the line.
No,
No.
he was actually 3.5 seconds down on that lap. I think he's just
Okay, yeah.
given the tyres a breather and then go again.
Then he's going to
Yeah,
go
so
again. Who else have we got?
Keep an eye. We've got Binger coming across the line now in the Merc, which is very weird as he jumped up to 4th. Nice. That's 4 cars under 2/10. And Albert's starting his last lap here. Good vibes coming across the line, and Ridey's going to get one more lap. So Ridey could be the last car over the line here.
And Ridey as well. Don't forget about him. He could be the dark horse here. So 15 seconds in this session. Who else can get to the line? I think that might be it. I
Brian's
reckon.
trying, but I think he's not. He's going to miss out by a second. I reckon.
I think
Let's have a
Brian.
look. Here
he
comes
might.
Brian.
He might get it. He might get it. Yes.
He did just.
He
So
just
he's in
got
last
it.
car.
So who have we got? Static. Who's ahead of Static here on a hot
First
lap?
car across is Branchy. He's going to be the first car.
And Static looked to have a bit of a moment there, Bob. I reckon you called it there, but Branchy is coming up. A couple of corners left here. What can he do through Sterling's Bend? Now on to coming towards turn 9. And here we go, approaching the start-finish straight now. He needs to find 0.172 tenths. Let's have a look. He comes across the line. He
Oh,
improves,
he
but not
can't.
enough.
Is that going to go faster, Bob?
No, he lost a bit of time in the
Alright, well, it's up to Albert
final
now.
2 corners.
And here we go. I've got a good feeling
Can he
about
get
this.
back-to-back poles?
Can he get back-to-back pole positions here in the opening round of Tier 1 this new season? He comes across the line. Everybody in Spain and in Richmond hold their breath as it's
Hey!
He does it.
pole.
He's still got
Smooth
Vibes to
operator.
go.
Here we go, Vibes. Where is Vibes?
And Ridey.
And Vibes doesn't
Half a
do
second,
much.
Vibes, that's good.
And
Ridey.
Ridey only good enough for
9
8.
turns.
Who else have we got?
And we
The
got
boss.
Brian.
Here we go.
Brian's the last car, remember, he crossed 1 second to go.
That's right.
Can
Here
he
we
jump
go.
up the grid?
Here we go. Come on, Brian. He comes across and it's pole.
What? Where did that come from?
my dear God.
Where did that come from?
What a
One
lap.
valid lap. That was his only valid lap.
And he
He
just,
crossed the line with 1 second to
he
go and gets pole.
just snuck in by the skin of his nutsack to get that lap done. But what an effort. That was
Oh.
incredible.
That is phenomenal.
I just saw him go from,
Brian.
I couldn't keep up. I saw him go from the bottom of the timesheet straight to the top. Wow, what an end to this qualifying session, and what a race we've got in store here for race number 2. But,
It's a bit,
well, I reckon the
bit
boys...
ironic, isn't it? Isn't it normally Albert's the last car over the line to get pole? It's been Uno reversoed by Mr. Anti-Jab.
So I reckon...
I'm sure he believes in that pole position.
I reckon old anti-vaxxer, I reckon Albert and Static might have thought they were home there. That is a great lap from Brian. It sees him on pole position. Anyway, I'm sure he'll take it. Like you said, I'm sure he believes in that one, Wilco. But race number 2, another 20-minute race here. And this time it'll be Brian leading us off the line ahead of Albert. So he's messed up Prince Albert's perfect record for qualifying here tonight, Wilco.
I was going to say, I was just waited for Brian across the line, which obviously it doesn't matter anymore. But I was going to say, last car to get back-to-back poles in a sprint race at Brands Hatch was me, and I went on to win the championship. So that could have been an omen for Albert, but Brian's wrecked the party.
He certainly has. He's come in late and spoiled the party. James Barton, Jimbo saying, extra, extra, read all about it. Jason's a cheater and has a cheat motor in his car. Well, that's a little bit
Yeah.
controversial.
That's why it hasn't even been started up this this night.
And check out Barton Motorsports. I'm not sure whether I should be giving him a plug after that comment, Wilco, but what a lap indeed from Brian O'Spillner. Are you a cop, Brian? And let's have a look. It's going to have all sorts of pressure on him going down into turn one.
Family.
Brian, it's pronounced Fambui. And Brian there will be going down into turn 30 seconds. Sounds a little bit more like Albert than Chris Gale. But anyway, it is Albert, in fact, starting on the front row, nevertheless, ahead of Static, Branchy, Aussie, Thunder. 20 seconds. Yeah, we can see that. Thank you. And then Binger in 6th and Barter's in 7th. Good vibes. Righty couldn't improve. The boss, who's been good enough to join us, and Wilco will be waiting there in case anything happens in the pit lane. Voodoo, hopefully that ankle is on the mend there, Voodoo. He says, wait, intro? I missed it. And never mind about the intro. We are just about to get underway as Brian is off the line. And Albert not too far behind him. Boys, your tips for race 2. What can we expect to see here?
Much of the same, I think. It's going to be tight. It's just a question of how long Brian can hold on up front. Obviously, he's going to have Albert nipping at his heels, and then obviously, there's Static, there's Barders, there's a lot of fast guys out there.
So there we have it. Can Brian hold on? I have my doubts. Whether he can hold on for the 20 minutes because the pace of the guys behind him, Albert and Branchy, we might just go through the order here as we're just checking out some camera angles. We'll get back to there we have it, our main broadcast camera there as we have them on the formation lap. Voodoo, plenty of love in the chat there. Great to have you with us. As we see these drivers warming up the wheels, warming up everything before the start of this race. Stick around, 7:12 p.m. local time here at Brands Hatch. So the track cooling down, not by much. The grip levels, Wilco, there's going to be a fair amount of grip out there in race 2.
Yeah, you'd hope so. It should be quite good. Let's throw my phone off here. So yeah, it should be good grip. Good action, and yeah, it should be fun.
As we take a look at Brian now coming around.
Barter's in 7th. That's a big turn up there.
Trying to get back to the garage here so I can get a view of all of the action, Wilco, but it doesn't want to do that. But anyway, we'll watch the start and then we'll try and figure it out after that. It's Static just having a bit of a shortcut there across the grass on this formation lap. Big hello to our 6 people watching us. The OGs, the beloved regulars there watching us here tonight for the opening round of Tier 1. Great to have your company. Off to Silverstone, I think. Is it next week? I'm not too sure. I think, is it? I could have that wrong.
Yeah, Silverstone next week.
Silverstone next week.
The hour race.
For a
10-minute quali, 1 hour race.
Hour endurance race here, but we are almost ready to get this race 2 underway here from Brands Hatch. Another 20-minute race full of action, no doubt, as we come through the Clark Curve very slowly. The calm before the storm, and we get back onto the Brabham Straight. We're waiting for it. We're waiting for it. The drivers are ready to go. They've got to stay in their lane, follow the start procedure before we get underway. The camera's stuck on Brian. We'll try and figure that out later, but we are ready to... Green, go, and Static already having a look, Bob. Through turn 1, Albert having a look as well. Static's around. And I think he made contact with somebody at the back there. I'm not too sure. I didn't quite see the camera cut away, but Brian, Albert, right up the front there. Now we can go back to the garage. Thank you very much. I think it was... Who was it there? I didn't quite see...
I think it was Stat ran wide. Yeah, Stat ran wide and then obviously slammed the brakes on, or ease on the brakes, not run off the track, and then Branchy had nowhere to go. But I tell you what, move of the race so far, Righty from 10th to 6th, How good was that? And Barter's 7th to 4th.
Fantastic start there from Righty in the pink Ferrari. No missing him. But the question at the start of this
Barter's
race...
up the inside, up to 3rd.
And
Lovely
Barter's...
move.
Beautiful move. There's not a great deal of room there, but he made the most of it.
Oh, Binger!
No! And look at that. Thunder getting through. Righty now up to 5th, and now looking at 4th, Wilco, on the opening lap.
Oh, he's crossed up. He's caught it. Well, I wonder what was that Binger that come from nowhere on Barter's then.
Yeah, and then he's unfortunately been spat into the wall.
And
spewing.
not quite sure whether 3 could go into 1 there. But that incident then, so Barter's up to 3rd, making moves
Aussie Thunder in
early.
3rd.
Aussie Thunder. Now just ahead of Righty as we come across the line to complete lap 1, a hectic opening lap of this race. Static is right down at the back. GRT says there's no time to stretch the jewels on this track. That's for sure. Righty showing all sorts of moves here, and look at the pace. Righty's got up to 4th, and he wants a podium now. We're only on lap 2. Is he gonna? He's right up behind Thunder at the moment. Is he gonna pull out and make a move? You bet he is. And he goes up to 3rd. Wilco, this man getting it done.
Yeah, Aussie's a very clean driver then. He gave him a lot of room then to make sure he didn't, but he's got a run on him now, so he could be returning the favour by sending up the inside here. Here we go.
Here we go. Mercedes versus Ferrari power. Righty keeps his foot in it and manages to maintain 3rd place, but for how long? Look how close it is from Righty all the way down to Static. There is nothing in it. In fact, all the way down the field, less than a second between from 3rd right the way down to 9th. Look how bunched up they are. Look how close it is with 17 minutes remaining in this race. Nothing but pure racing action coming to you live on the Kid Buyers YouTube channel. Great to have you with us, everybody watching right around the world. And also the great man Wilco and Bullseye Bobby Hoskins. Great to have you with us alongside us in the commentary box tonight. But look how close it is across the line into lap 2, and they are so close. Look at them. Incredible start to this race, Bob. There is nothing between these guys.
Oh, Barter's.
No,
Sneaky.
it's dead close. And that McLaren on the brakes, it is an absolute weapon.
Look at this. Barter's 6th place. Static then.
Boss and Static here.
And Boss and Static side by side. And I tell you what, boy.
Oh no.
The boss got his elbows out.
KO.
And then Branchy just KO'd him. He clotheslined him coming through that corner and sent him right off. I thought the boss was going to finish that one off, finish Static off, but it ended up being Branchy, who might not be too happy in that McLaren after what happened to him at the start. But nevertheless, up to 8th. Static now down to 9th. He doesn't have a lot of luck in the early parts of races, does he, Static?
No, he doesn't. He just seems to get caught up in the wrong moments. So that's probably just race experience. He'll get better and better the more races he does. But it is a very tight track around here too. So still so next week being a lot more open, we should see a bit cleaner racing.
More open, more opportunities to pass lap 3 of this race. And Brian, the
He's still hanging on.
He's hanging on. He's hanging on as it's going to be Albert there, you can see, with the AstraZeneca vaccine chasing him down to give him a jab, or it could be Pfizer, who knows. But Brian doesn't want anything to do with it. As you can see, well, I must admit, I thought Albert would have made a move on him now, but Brian sticking with it out front, Bob, and he's looking good.
I'll tell you what, his last lap was a 25.5. He is now nearly half a second up. So his pace in this second race is phenomenal.
And he came through and stole pole position pretty much. Daylight robbery there to get into P1 literally at the end. Just snuck in to get that final lap counted, and it paid dividends for him in pole position. But there we have it, Albert in second place. I'm in pretty good shape, guys. I'm in pretty good shape. I think I can manage this, but it is 1.2 seconds now, so that is interesting. Righty up into 3rd after starting right at the back of the grid. And yep, something going on there. Thank you for that. My wife letting me know that she's going to turn the PlayStation on, but please, for the love of God,
God.
log into your own account and not Kit Myers. But there we have it. So Barters, we might watch Minecraft instead. Good Vibes in 6th. The Boss in 7th. Branchy, why do I get the feeling there is a lot of frustration there? We saw from that move on Static Hazard, who's now 5 seconds further back. You said it, Wilco. If there's an incident or an accident, Static seems to find it. He's a pretty unlucky driver when it comes to the starts. But he's down in 9th. Plenty to do then with 13 minutes remaining. But Brian now 1.4 seconds ahead. So is it a matter of Albert just managing things at the moment here? Plenty of time in this race to have a go. He's not going to do anything silly. But he is hanging with it at the moment. Righty, we'll keep an eye on that gap, Bob. 3 seconds at the moment, not making too many inroads on the leading duo at the moment. And then it's Barnes in 4th, so the field spreading out a little bit at the moment, still not much between them. And then it's Thunder.
You're not going to... Sorry.
No, you go, Bob.
Sorry, I tried to jump in there, but Brian's last lap was a 1:24.6.
Woohoo.
So
that's quicker than pole, or what is it? No.
No, I think he did
just off
24.2
of
for
it.
pole, but yeah, unbelievable. He's taken the all the anti-vaxxers, got him on the back of his rear wing, and he's driving off into the sunset.
Well, if he keeps up, I'm booked in for my first jab.
Don't say it.
I reckon if he keeps
If
this,
he wins, you'll cancel.
if he keeps this pace up, it might be something in it. We might have to. Might be something. As
He nearly lost it.
You've jinxed him.
so
Albert, around the outside.
Ah, look at me, Jason. Look at me go, mate. Unbelievable
Do it for
stuff.
the vaccine.
Do it for the
Oh, my dear
vaccine.
God.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
AstraZeneca Kun Alberto goes. Zoom straight past him. They're side by side. That is not a place coming up to the Hawthorn Bend at turn 5 where you want to be side by side too much of the time. Now heading towards Westfield. And boy, oh boy, very quick part of the track. But it's the anti-vaxxer who's got his nose in front ahead of the Spaniard. And look at this. This is going to be one of those battles as he runs slightly wide.
Pressure's building.
And the pressure is building.
Oh,
no! He's caught some COVID, and now he is not looking as good as he was before, but he's still in the lead. And now Albert. Oh, can I gather it up really quickly, Jason? Yes, I
He's
can.
into this now.
And Righty's into it. He's pulled nearly a second on them, Bob. So don't forget about Righty in 3rd.
Yeah, so Righty's last lap was a 1:24.2.
Boy, he.
So we were, you know, trying to find some superlatives for Brian up front, but Righty is the man on a mission at the moment.
So there we have it. We've got
Barters
Officer
wouldn't be too far off him as well. Barters is sort of sticking with Righty, so
Barters, 2
these
seconds.
two, this could be a 4-way battle if these two keep fighting.
And you can see there, Prince Albert, he spent the first 6 laps of the race, Wilco, worrying about Brian in front of him, and now he's going to worry about Righty. Look at that. So Righty, who started, please refresh my memory, Wilco, it was well down the field.
10th.
10th. And he made
Last.
we've gone too soon. And we'll test the commentator's curse out. Righty, nothing will happen to you in the next 10 minutes and 17 seconds. Absolutely nothing, and you will definitely win this race. So we'll check that commentator's curse and come back to you a little bit later. But look at this. It's Officer Brian O'Connor who's in first, but for how long? I hear you ask, everybody watching at home, because Albert under pressure, half the race gone, half still to go. Thank you for that, Murray, but it is Albert in 2nd, then Righty 3rd. We'll keep going through the field. Don't forget about Barters as well, and then it's Thunder 3 behind him. Good vibes. This midfield, if we've got a midfield with 10 guys running. There we have Branchy then up to 7th, the Boss in 8th. Good friends of Static Hazard in this race, who is now 4.9 seconds further back from the pack. Who is getting the win? Let us know in the comments as Static runs wide through the hairpin at Druids. And that's
Albert's got a good run here.
And let's have a look at this. Albert, get your comments coming in, but look at Prince Albert now. Can he make a move? It's going to be tight. It's going to be close. But Isuzu Brian sticking with it at the moment. And the pressure, the roles have been reversed. It was the hunted becoming the hunter now. Albert there with who was under the pressure in race 1, but managed to get the win ahead of Bardas, I think it was, in race 1, has in second. He's the man in second place, looking to take that win this time around with less than 9 minutes to go at the moment. Absolutely nothing in it. And fantastic racing here. Opening night of Tier 1 on KRL. Hope you're enjoying it. 9 people watching. Not quite 13, but almost to double figures, Wilco, which is absolutely fantastic for the opening round of this season. Do not go anywhere, because we could have a 4-way battle for the win here, because Bardas is coming through as well.
Oh, I thought Branchy was going to collect good vibes there.
And it must have been very close. The boss not too far back either. As Good Vibes taking an interesting line there through Druids now, taking a bit of a wider line, maybe just seeing what sort of grip levels are available. I don't think he's going to get too much grip on the outside line there, but now that's set him up in many ways for Branchy to have a go at him. The boss further back as well, so battles right throughout the field here tonight, which is great to see. And the time quickly counting down. We're going to get back to the battle at the front. I think that is looking very close on our timing sheets at the moment. We don't need to look at the timing sheets. We can see how close it is. But where are the opportunities? We said turn 1. But Brian, what is going through his mind? What's the pressure like, Wilco, when you're in front? That's
He saved it.
He saved it. He saved it. We talked about pressure. We talked about the commentator's curse. But look at that. And now Albert's in the lead. But for how long? Because we've got a 4-way battle for the lead now. Brian comes out from behind Albert. Can't make a move there. He's not quite close enough going through turn 1. Paddock Hill Bend up to Druids now. So it is Albert in the lead. Well, Brian ruined his perfect pole position record tonight. But and Albert's just repaying him the favour, Wilco. He's into the lead, less than 7 minutes to go.
Yeah, Brian's wide again here. So now, Righty had a run, but he got big wheel spin. So I'm surprised the boys are struggling with their tyres, unless they're just pushing so hard that they're just losing the grip a little bit. He had a big moment again. Now Bardas has got a run. We know how quick that Lambo is on a straight, but it's not enough straight at the moment. So yeah, we'll see if Righty and Brian have another coming together like they did in race 1, which could open up Bardas, or open up the door for Bardas.
So if you had a 5er on Righty at the beginning of this race from 10th up to the podium, it'd be a good payout.
He was paying fucking. He was paying about 200 bucks there.
And if you want to know about a 15-leg multi, just speak to that man, Wilco. I've seen some of those screenshots. Fantastic stuff. And who is going to win this race? Jimbo says not Wilco. A little bit of salt there between you two. What's happening there?
It's the smartest things Jimbo's ever said, so he's on the money.
That's for sure, but very important job nonetheless for you, Wilco. Keeping an eye on things. Albert, pretty good time to pull a 1.2 second gap, because that, with 5 and a bit minutes remaining, Albert, no, all under control there. Brian, now he's going to be under pressure, but fantastic effort, I must say, Bob. We were talking...
Branchy. What happened to him?
Branchy he had a moment, and he was fighting with Good Vibes. He's had a moment, and Binger's through.
And he's also had a moment in the pit lane too. He's done the David Coulthard straight into the pit wall as he comes into the pits to keep Wilco company there. Binger still running, 3.9 seconds off Good Vibes there in 9th, so he is missing out on that final point.
Back to the front, back to the front.
Oh my dick. Sorry, Bardas nearly
yep. I saw that too.
Turned the Ferrari into a Fiat 126.
So here we have it, Bardas, plenty to play for. 2nd, 3rd and 4th all together with 4 minutes remaining in this race. And this is amazing. Bardas looked a little bit too close for comfort there, but the Lamborghini comes around the final corner onto the Brabham straight, and Barter's all over the back of Righty. Look at this. Bullseye Bob Hoskins, call it for us. They're side by side on the main straight.
Oh,
my
around the
Lord,
outside.
That is phenomenal.
What
Not
a
over
move.
yet. Yes, it is now.
What a move from Barters.
Oh.
And Righty just trying to return the favour there. But
He locked up
outbreaking
then.
himself, locked up through Druids there. But fantastic racing. Barters is, well, I saw that there's a prize in F1 for overtaking, but if we had one, I'd give it to Barters tonight. He's made some classic moves, hasn't he?
That was phenomenal there to hang it out around the outside of T1. Yeah, it was really nice move.
So fantastic stuff. We're just gathering ourselves again. That was a great move, and to keep your foot in it too, Bob, around going through turn one there, it sort of dips away from you a bit. It is a difficult corner on this circuit, and fantastic move there from Barters. He's up to third, well deserved, up to third place, sitting pretty in the podium places. 1.6 behind Isuzu Brian. So I will be getting that COVID jab because that gap is 2.4 seconds up to Albert. I'm in pretty good shape, I reckon, Wilco. I'm looking pretty good. And we'll be talking to him, no doubt, as he comes across the line. Lap 12 of this race. 2 seconds further back. 2 to go. 2 to go. Thank you, Wilco. And there we have it. Barters now. Can Righty make any inroads to Barters? I don't think so. It looks like Barters has the pace. And Barters, after that move at turn one on Righty, will have plenty of confidence, will he? Won't he, if Righty goes back past him? But with 2 and a bit minutes left in the in race 2 here, in the opening round of this new season, British GT Championship style, season 3 for KRL. It's things are settling down, but I've said that before, and some funny things have happened in the final couple of minutes of these races that we are watching. But look at this. It's still all to play for. I don't think anyone's home just yet, Bob. I think there's still a bit to play for here.
Yeah, so I mean, it's going to be nip and tuck if they actually. Where is Albert now? I don't know. If I was Albert, to tell you what, I would lift off, just waste a second or two, and then make this next lap your final lap. Let's see what he's going to do.
So some tactics, you reckon there, Bob?
It was 124 when they crossed the line last time, and this time it is 125. So even with the fighting with Brian, they've pretty much matched their peak speed from race 1. So it shows how the track temp's been dropping and guys getting faster as Barter's all over Brian. So we could have 2 laps here unless Albert slows it down just before the finish line.
I'm with you, Bob. I reckon if he's smart, if he's clever here, and we know he is, he's pretty switched on. I reckon he'll just ease off maybe to make this definitely the last lap. Brian and Barters, well, we said things were settling down, but look how close they are. 2nd, 3rd and 4th, all in the one picture. Bob, who's your money on here?
I want to. My brain is saying Barters, but to be honest, my heart is saying go for it, Brian. You know, for him to finish on the podium here is phenomenal in itself. To hold on for 2nd, even better.
Well, he did it in qualifying. Can he finish it off here in the race? He's probably not going to get the win. But he is under an immense amount of pressure, though. But let's see if he can hold on. It's going to be close. Here's Albert as he comes around the final corner onto the start-finish straight. The perfect start. A win in race 1 and a win 2 from 2. There we have it. Albert crosses the line. Brian just holds on ahead of Barters, taking that final podium position. And what a move to get that podium position. Bit of drifting there at the end of the race, but well-deserved podium there. Righty just missing out after a stonking drive from 10th to 4th. Aussie Thunder 5th. The boss in 6th. Static Hazard carrying a bit of damage there home to 7th. Good vibes still going around for the last point along with Binger. And that's our lot. That's all she wrote. That is the end of the race. Albert 2 from 2 to start the new season, but boys, what racing we've seen tonight.
No, some shocks, to be honest. I mean, for Brian to hang on like that was phenomenal. Barda's move on the outside of T1, phenomenal. Righty, he's blistering, on his day, and he's got a decent result there as well. It was just unfortunate that there were a couple of tangles further down the field, which has seen a couple of them out of their usual kind of positions.
So what an opening round for Tier 1. We saw plenty of action last night, and we saw even more tonight. We'll try and get our drivers in. It'll be a bit easier tonight. We'll go on the PSN chat, of course. We'll try and get some drivers in so we can have a chat. Voodoo says, great racing tonight as per usual. Such an interesting start to a new season. Can't wait to see what happens next week at Silverstone. Love your work, Voodoo. As always, big shout out to Voodoo, the man who does all of our graphics, thumbnails, and he's right across Discord and keeps everything organised. I hope you're feeling good, man, and keep it tuned to KRL. VS for Voodoo as well. Keep an eye on his YouTube channel. Streaming more often than not, as Albert, our race winner, winner of both races tonight, has been good enough to join us. Albert, have we got you there?
Yep, hello.
Hello, check 1 2, check 1 2. And Albert, talk us through your night, mate. Almost the perfect night. We saw Isuzu steal the pole position off you, mate, there, in literally the final seconds of that qualifying session. But talk us through your night, mate. Perfect start to a new season, back-to-back wins.
Yeah, it was lovely. It was great fun tonight. Yeah, the races, the first one with Paris, epic battle as always. Here is not really easy to overtake, so I didn't have to make any mistakes. I made one and he nearly overtook me. And then race 2, I just want to congratulate my brother Brian, because he's done amazing. That pole position was sick. And then, I couldn't overtake him, but at the end, he made a little mistake and I could pass him. But well done, everyone.
Fantastic. Well done, mate. Congratulations. Back-to-back wins for the opening round of the Tier 1 season. Thank you, mate. We'll catch you next week for Silverstone as Isuzu Brian, the man in second place in race 2, has joined us. Brian, talk us through your race.
Yeah, cheers, Trev. I just want to say, I don't know how I got pole on quali. That was just a bit of a fluke lap, I reckon. But I just want to say to Albert, thanks for not pushing us too hard or making us push nice and easy so we could get a gap. But just as he said, I made that little mistake and it just let him go by. So there's not much I could do, but P2, I'll take that all day long. So
great stuff, Brian.
Great
result.
effort.
Great result. Great qualifying lap too. Couldn't quite get the
cheers,
win.
Boys.
I think I said during the stream, Brian, that I was going to cancel my COVID vaccine if you took the win. Tonight in race 2, I reckon there's something in it.
Oh, I should have tried harder then.
As there we go. But congratulations, mate. P2 in the end, and a great battle with Albert.
Cheers, Trev.
Thank you. Great stuff, mate. We'll catch you next week. Branchy, have we got you there, mate?
Yeah, hello.
Great stuff, mate. Talk us through your night.
Podium in race 1.
Podium?
Yeah, first race was okay. The second race wasn't much.
Summing it up beautifully there, mate.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So congratulations on your work tonight. Have we got anybody else that we need to...
Bardas hasn't
Bardas?
joined.
I want to ask him about that move on Righty, if we can get him in to the chat.
Go on. I'll be Bardas asking.
Bardas, obviously Kid Byers doesn't get this job after he made a hash of it last time, but Bardas, talk us through that move on Righty, mate. You absolutely kept your foot in it through turn 1. Not an easy track to pass, mate, but you got it done and got the podium.
After watching the last 2 seasons, seeing that Jason Wilco just do awesome moves, I decided that I'm going to start trying some nice moves around the outside. It's worked out, but unfortunately the KRL curse with me, still haven't won a race with KRL, is live. So hopefully Silverstone next week, I will take a win.
Great stuff, mate. That sounded a lot like Jason Wilkinson.
That's a dig and that's a dig at him as well.
That was terrible.
That's Wilco as Barters, talking like Wilco, having a dig at Barters. There we have it. Fantastic stuff. And I think that might be. I think that might be it.
Barters.
And I think that might be it. Gary says, well done, Vibes. Thank you for joining us. Everybody else, Big Dazzler there, Voodoo. I hope you're feeling better, mate. And GRT watching us tonight. Jimbo, didn't like Wilco's work, but still thank you for watching the stream. I think that's all, unless we get somebody else. I can't remember who else finished on the podium, but we're nearly out of time, Wilco.
Yeah, it's all done for the sprint race at Brands Hatch, and we'll be back for next week at Silverstone. The two 1 hour races, Tier 1 and Tier 2 do a 1 hour race each, and should be good.
So we've got round 1, the sprint round, like you said here at Brands Hatch, all wrapped up, done and dusted. Round 2 at Silverstone next week. Bob Hoskins, thank you very much for joining us, mate, and having plenty of fun along the way. We're going to see you next week, mate.
Yeah, I'll be back, and thanks for having me yet again.
Great stuff. There we have it. The calendar on your screen now for Season 3. Silverstone next week, Donington, then a break back for Spa. And the final 3 rounds, Snetterton, Alton Park, and then back at Donington to finish the season. That is us done and dusted here. That is a wrap for Round 1, Tier 1, also Tier 2 last night for the British GT Championship. Presented to you by the Kid Buyers Racing League. Stay safe, stay well, and we'll see you next time around for Silverstone. But it's bye for now.